Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to episode 11 of the Rugby League Live 3 career mode with the New Zealand Warriors. Now this episode we are back at the Warriors obviously, and you might be thinking, why is that something like important to say? Well, last episode we actually played with the New South Wales Blues, and a few episodes ago before that we actually played with Australia. So for the time being, just going to be playing a few games with Warriors and then a rep game, and then back with the Warriors a few games and then a rep game. That's just how it's going to be for a little bit, and then I'll be back to Warriors pretty much full time. But you can see the lineups here. Storm, pretty interesting one. I mean, their side doesn't look amazing, but they got Tamalalo, they still got Cameron Smith there. And they've got a big signing of Greg Inglis at fullback, which is an interesting one because he's very, very good in the game. Obviously, in real life, probably past it at the moment, but on the game, he's still incredible. But I mean, our first set into the game, we come up with an error, a forward pass there. Thankfully, Storm didn't make us pay too much. And I just want to point out that I don't show every single highlight. There are some line breaks and stuff, like half breaks and stuff like that. So I do remember specifically there was a few breaks Storm were making, but nothing major that wasn't easily shut down. But we did come up with the first try of the game was Solomon Carter, who puts us 4-0 up. Sean Johnson kicks the goal, and I should mention the last game for the Warriors that we played, it was without Matt Moylan because he was selected for the Blues. And if you haven't seen that game, actually go back and check it out. Matty Moylan had a pretty interesting night, or game I should say. But yeah, he comes up with a pretty big tackle right here, as he did in the Origin game. Come up with a few big tackles there, but it's Dale Finucane who ended up tackled. But Cameron Smith gets it to Blake Green, who's still at the club after all these years. Cooper Cronk scoring, but Blake Green's still there. And Greg Inglis rises above and actually puts the ball down. Unfortunately, didn't actually put it in the in goal, which is very lucky for us. And it's something that only really happens to the computer, but I'm quite glad that it happened just then. It's one of the glitches, or I don't know if you'd call it a glitch, but it's one of those ones where I'm perfectly fine with it. Unfortunately for us though, we just played very, very stupid. Lots of stupid little errors. Probably one of the most errors we've made in a game was this one, just playing really, really stupid. And you can see that they eventually scored. I think it might have been Blake Green who scored. They went up to the video ref, but there was no doubts. Like, he definitely got the ball down. And you see Cameron Smith looking to score again before half time and just try and put us on the back foot going into the break. Like, if Storm had scored, we probably would have been in a lot of trouble. Hard to stop momentum, but thankfully we did kind of kill it enough to get to halftime, and at halftime it is 6-all. But yeah, completions, really need to get our completions in order. But Conrad Harrell gets the ball, he palms off one, and Conrad Harrell nearly scores from a bit of a charge down. It wasn't even an official charge down, we kind of just got in the way of a kick here, and Sean Johnson is going to go over and maybe score here. There is question marks over whether he got the ball down. Now I've had to go for a different angle because it didn't really show it in the like official try, like the video referee, which is funny that on this game I've noticed since the patch there's so many times where it's supposed to be a video ref and they don't even catch the put down. But I did get it, obviously dropped the ball, and Mahe Fanua is going to get an incredible intercept there. That's something else I've noticed in the patch, a lot more intercepts from those sort of stuff, like just those passes. Like in real life they would not be catching that pass, they'd probably put that down. Well, maybe he would have caught that one specifically, but there's quite a few of them where they'll just, it looks like a bullet pass has been thrown at them, they all just catch him, like not even a fumble, no nothing. So yeah, it is a bit frustrating to have them intercept those sort of ones, but still it's not as bad as Rugby League Live 2. It can't get any worse than Rugby League Live 2 with intercepts. But we are looking to score a try here. It's Fisiahi up against Inglis. Inglis coming across here, and Inglis is actually going to get him. Fisiahi does not get caught very often. We saw him outpace James Roberts and players like that, but Inglis gets him, and Sean Johnson just takes him on there. Inglis obviously out of position because he did make the tackle on Glenn Fisiahi, and Sean Johnson taking advantage close to the line, just too much speed, got on the outside of his man, and he scores a try. That's how good Sean Johnson is, and he kind of makes up for his error in the first half where he dropped the ball over the line. Was it in the first half? Actually, I can't remember if it was in the first half. I think it was. But Manu Vadava here, he's up the wing here, 10 minutes to go. What can we do? And he's actually tackled. Very, very strong tackle there by Greg Inglis. But we're looking to try and just get upfield. But we ended up giving away, well, not giving away, but we did a drop ball. But thankfully, nothing really came of it. And here's another opportunity for us to win the game. A minute to go. Moreland draws and passes. And Conrad Harrell wins the game for us. Less than a minute to go, and we score and win the game. What a finish of the game. Melbourne Storm are in 10th spot, but they still have a pretty strong side. And, down in Melbourne, it was a very tough game. The game wasn't completely over, but it was effectively over. They had a kickoff, but in this game they don't really go for the short kickoff. I don't even think you can go for the short kickoff anymore with the patch, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, pretty sure you can't go for a short kickoff, so even if the computer did it, it wouldn't have worked out anyways. But Solomon Carter picks up man of the match there. I thought Sean Johnson had a pretty good game in that game, but yeah, it was a pretty pretty sloppy sort of performance from us, but in the end we got the job done, and that's the main thing, and we do retain our spot in first position. Now last episode it was only just like the one game, so I didn't get to show you the ladder. You can see there we're on 22 points. The Dragons really matching us, like nearly game for game matching us. I think really all that's separating us is that we beat them early in the year. I'm pretty sure we beat them early in the year, so yeah, very, very good stuff there from the Dragons. They're so consistent on this game. I can't believe how good they are. But yeah, moving on to the second game of the episode, obviously taking on Manly, as you can see on screen here. So far, their team looks pretty darn average, but they've got some pretty good halves. But yeah, the side looks pretty, like I said, pretty average, pretty bad, if I'm honest. Probably one of the worst teams in the comp. I'm not sure exactly where they're placed. I mean, we just saw the ladder, but I wasn't really looking for Manly, so I didn't really take notice. But Vadavai up the wing here, looking to draw and pass here to Connie Harrell, and Conrad Harrell will go and score under the post there. That's just too easy there. The combination they've got in the wing there is just incredible. The amount of assists that both those guys are getting, in particular Harrell to Vadavai gets a lot of assists. That's the one thing that you'll find with my style of play. I mean, it's just on Rugby League Live 3 in general. You don't really get too many try assists from halves. It's not like in real life where you have like second rowers running good lines and put them into the gap and that sort of stuff. It's more like get it out to the centres and wingers, and the centre will just draw and pass, and the wing will go over and score. But we do end up picking up another try there. Simon Mentoring. So we've had a flying start here. 9 minutes, less than 10 minutes in. We're beating the clock at this stage. It's 12-0. Sean Johnson kicks the goal, and yeah, we were absolutely flying at the moment. It is a bit ironic we're taking on the Sea Eagles and we're flying at the moment. And we're going to follow it up with a third tackle, 40-20 effectively. It's not officially a 40-20 because Gutherson grabbed the ball, but same result. But here's a big game changer. Aiden Caesar gets the ball, and he's going to make his way up to the other end, and he's going to score a runaway try. Now, basically, we got a little bit too cocky, and we're going for one of those ones. It kind of was a little bit of like a real-life try where you kind of try and put a guy into a gap. Instead, they just like grab the ball. I'm not sure if there was a knock on. I don't know if they just grabbed it. It all happened so fast. Don't know if they just grabbed it cleanly or if it did touch him and it hit the ground or whatever. But yeah, just one of those ones where they just intercepted again somehow. And right here, Manly come up with a big run. It's Jeremy Hawkins, the winger, who had a pretty good run. But Jaden Hodges jumps out of dummy half, and obviously Moylan made the tackle just beforehand, so he wasn't back there. And they just sloppy work from the markers. Very, very poor work from the markers, and I couldn't believe they scored that try. It's one of those ones where I was super frustrated. So we went from having a lead, in under 10, well, just 10 minutes of 12-0, and now it's all even in another 10 minutes. Like after 20 minutes, it was 12-all. And right here, you can see Manly, they actually stripped the ball there. There was a little bit of a jump cut because I didn't even realize they'd stripped the ball. I was getting ready to make a sub, and then all of a sudden, like I come back, I'm like, oh shit, they've got the ball. So yeah, you noticed there was a little bit of like a jump, but not too much. I pretty much tried to make it look as smooth as possible, but there was a brilliant tackle there by Matty Moylan. That's why I got picked for New South Wales. Whether I wanted him at fullback for New South Wales or not, totally would have picked Tedesco, but whatever. But yeah, 12-all at halftime, thanks to Matt Moylan coming up with a big tackle a few times there. You just saw just before halftime, the last highlight was actually another clip of him making a tackle. But Matty Moylan having a pretty good game, but he does fall off that tackle there. Chase Blair just brushes him off there, as they do a lot in this game. It's, the patch hasn't done a hell of a lot, but I feel like it's definitely made the AI a lot harder to beat. They brush off a lot more tackles and, yeah, just do a lot more of that shit. So, yeah, it definitely is harder to win games there. But Cherry Evans kicks the goal, and they now have a 6-point lead. So we're actually struggling here. We started off so good, but yeah, it's quite incredible that we're struggling now. Matt Moylan comes up with a big tackle there, and Aiden Caesar looking to replicate what he did in the first half there and go the length of the field, but he couldn't do that. And right here, they're looking for another try, but Ben Henry is going to come up with a big play here, a big intercept there, and you're going to think, Ben Henry, he's kind of fast, but, well, I suppose we don't really know how fast he is because he keeps getting injured. You never get to see him in full flight, but you think he'd get run down, but no, he just had too much of a start. Ben Henry goes the distance, literally an intercept. He runs 90 metres, length of the field try. I suppose that makes up for the sort of dodgy try that happened with the Caesar one, where he ran most of the field 90 metres, pretty similar circumstances. But yeah, 18-all, and Manly have a kick-off. They had all the wind behind them, and they kick it dead. So that is the best possible way to get a kick restart. Like, we literally start from halfway, we kick it out. We got a great field position, we can kick a field goal, we can go for a try, but we've gone for the field goal there. Chad Townsend, and he kicks it first go. So we've got a 1-point lead there. Pretty much just need to play smart, and not really try too much, and you just hold out the lead. But yeah, I did make a decision early on, well, third tackle, I think it was, that we made a decision to go for the field goal. So we set it up, and then fourth tackle we banged it over. But Conrad Hall here, a big run, goes for the offload on halfway, a risky offload, gave Manly great field position, but we defended our asses off there, didn't let them gain virtually any meters. So you can see here we just pretty much got the ball, get tackled, and we just ran out the clock basically, and we win the game by 1 point. We've had a few games that we've won by 1 point. Probably none as dramatic as this. Actually, there were a few that was as dramatic as this, including the last episode. Go back and check it out. But Aiden Caesar picked up man of the match, even though he was in a losing side. I can't argue that. He was pretty good. But yeah, we pick up the victory. Now, we're going to end the episode not with the results, because I didn't check out the results, but we are looking at players that we have signed. The signing period is done. We have re-signed a fair few players. Some we haven't, but we've brought in some huge players. Now, the forward pack is something where I feel we're quite weak on compared to the rest of the side. We've got a lot of backs and that sort of stuff there. Jesse Bromwich, a huge signing, and the rest of the players, great signings. Taylor Mariner coming back to the Warriors. Just a lot of really strong players that we've signed. But yeah, Jesse Bromwich definitely a highlight of those guys, and Paul Carter actually very good. So Marmia, I had him at the Tigers, and he's very good, and all for pretty good contract as well. But leaving the club, probably be players like David Williams, not using him, but he's on a huge contract. Marty Vadov, I wanted like $700,000 to retain him, and I just can't afford that, especially when we got other players who can do the job, and you can do the job quite well. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, follow me on Twitter at MrLuke, Facebook page in the description below, and I'll see you for the next episode. Bye guys.